Good morning, my name is Caitlin Hay, and welcome to my Persuasive Speech. As most of you already know, I am in the military, and in 2013, the military took me to Hawaii. What you might not know is I am a huge dog lover, so my first order of business was to get a dog. I went on Craigslist and I found a couple who was getting divorced, and sadly neither of them could keep their dog. So they posted him online prior to taking him to the pound. Thankfully, I found the post because now I've owned my dog Max for an amazing 7 years. However, according to the humanesociety.org, over 1 million dogs and cats are euthanized in the United States each year simply because too many of them end up in a shelter or kennel and too few people consider adopting. I think about Max and how he could have easily become one of these statistics, and it just breaks my heart. Which brings me to what I want to discuss with you today. How you can make a difference in the life of a dog, and hopefully many. The points I would like to discuss is number 1, why you should adopt from a shelter or a rescue rather than purchase from a breeder. Next, what it means to foster and how fostering helps. And then finally, the list of alternative ways to get involved. Much of this information I'm going to share with you today comes from the humanesociety.org, PETA.org, and kenneltocoach.org. So first things first, why you should adopt from a shelter or a rescue rather than purchase from a breeder. According to PETA.org, breeders are just small versions of puppy mills, and they contribute to the overpopulation, leading to more dogs in shelters and therefore more dogs being euthanized. Not to mention the poor treatment that these dogs go through during the breeding process. All simply for profit. But breeders aside, I know some of you have hesitations on adopting dogs in general, that you may not have enough space or time or money, that you have kids and other responsibilities. Now believe me, I get it. However, I just want you to take a second to think about how these dogs are living currently. In a shelter, they live in a small little kennel, brick walls, and cold concrete floors. They barely get any socialization, if any, from just the shelter staff. So even if all you have to offer them is a small apartment and just the little bit of time that you have after work, that is a huge upgrade for them. Let alone they could be euthanized if they stay in a shelter. Just something to think about. Now I understand that you may be hesitant because what if this dog doesn't fit your lifestyle? Although you can go see dogs before you adopt them, that's only usually for a little bit of time. So maybe fostering is more feasible for your lifestyle, which brings me to my second point, which is number 2, what is fostering and how it helps? Fostering is simple. It's just taking care of this dog in the meantime so that they don't have to be in the shelter while they wait for a forever home. Your role and responsibility is simple. You just shelter them and feed them and give them the tender love and care that they need. Now again, I'm sure you have reservations about fostering. Again, money is always an issue. Also, what if they don't fit your lifestyle or your home or your kids or what may have you? And then lastly, what if you get attached to this dog? Well, when you foster, the rescue still owns this dog, so they finance everything. All you have to do is house this dog, take them to the vet, and they pay for everything. They pay for the vet visits. So money is not an option when it comes to fostering. That's not an issue. And then the second issue was, what if they don't fit your lifestyle? With fostering, the rescue will gratefully take these dogs back, and hopefully you will try another until one fits your lifestyle, and then you're able to keep them in the meantime prior to them getting a forever home. And then lastly, what if you get attached to this dog? Honestly, that is the best thing about fostering, is when you try to help out and take care of this dog in the meantime, but then you fall in love with them and you end up keeping them, which is huge, and it is honestly the beauty of fostering. Now, what if you can't adopt and you can't foster? You just honestly cannot. Well, that brings me to my third and final point, the list of alternative ways to get involved. So maybe you can donate your time. There are rescues and shelters in almost every city. Donating your time to help clean the kennels, to feed the dogs, and the biggest thing is to help walk the dogs and give them socialization. That is a huge priority for these dogs. If you can't, you just don't have the time, then donate resources, food, toys, blankets, and if anything, money, so that they can vet these dogs so that others can help foster or adopt these dogs. And then lastly, if you honestly cannot do any of the above, at least help advocate for these dogs. Join the Facebook groups. They have every shelter and rescue have Facebook groups, and they post the pictures of the dogs. Just help share and get the word out so that others that can help can see these and get the word out, and they can help as well. So just to recap, we went through why you should adopt from a shelter or a rescue rather than purchasing from a breeder, what fostering is and how it really helps, and then the list of alternative ways to get involved. And lastly, I am a firm believer that you should never ask somebody to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. So I want you all to know that I have personally done every single thing I've asked you to do. I have volunteered at rescues and shelters. I have fostered multiple dogs over the past couple years, and I have personally adopted at least 2 pit bulls myself, which brings me to this last statistic I want to share with you. So according to kenneltocoach.org, pit bulls and pit bull types are actually have a 93% euthanasia rate, and only 1 in 600 of them find forever homes. So I want you to think about that when you think about fostering or adopting a dog or any of that. Please keep pit bulls in mind because they are amazing dogs and they are seriously underrated and undervalued. And in closing, I just want to show you a couple pictures of the dogs that I've helped in my time, and I hope it encourages you to do the same. Thank you.